All right, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate all that RJI is doing, and especially want to say thanks to Walt. You know, it's a little different being in the room while he was talking about you. you know, but I even sent a picture back to my boss and said, "Hey, we're being talked about here." And he asked me if Walt was telling the truth. I said, mostly he was telling the truth. No, he was very kind. I appreciate everything that you're doing, Walt. Very helpful to us as well, so thank you. My boss, Brad Gentry, couldn't be here. He was been out of the state this week, so I'm happy to be here representing the Houston Herald. Just want to tell you a little about myself so you can know me. Not that I want to self-promote myself. I just want you to know a little about the person that's standing up here and talking to you. So I'm a husband. My wife, Brittany, is with me here today. I appreciate her being here. I'm also a father. I have two children. I actually couldn't be with you yesterday because we had our first U6 soccer game last night. You know, it's like herding chickens around the field as everybody runs after the ball and you're yelling, "No, come back, come back." And so it was a lot of fun. So I have two children, preschooler and a second grader. I'm also a youth pastor at my church, and finally I'm a journalist. So, you know, I got a full plate. I understand all of the challenges that all of you have with everything that you're expected to do in your community. You know, we're all about community at the newspaper in Houston. We're invested in our community. I know a lot of you are too. I know you're busy. And so when you think about the challenges of trying to be on all the social media platforms and posting all the things you need to do and send out a text alert and you need a tweet and you need to be on Facebook and now Snapchat's getting popular, and I'll visit with that a little later. It's a challenge. So how do you do all this, and why should you be doing it? Our newspaper is located in Houston, Missouri. We're basically a straight shot south, 2.5 hours. So you go to Jeff City, go down to Rolla, and then we're about another 50 miles south of there. A town of 2,000. We're very small. This is my hometown. This is where I grew up. My publisher, Brad, grew up in Houston. We're hometown people. We're invested in our community. We love our community. I think that's what makes us special and different than chain newspapers or someone else that's sitting in an office far away giving instructions to the newspaper in that community. You know, we're invested. We live here. We know the people, and the people know us, and I believe that's very important. Our population, as I said, is only 2,000. Our circulation is 4,000. We also have a shopper that goes out free to the county, and it's 10,000. So we're small. But my message that I'm going to communicate today, and you're going to hear this over and over again, is that your size does not dictate what you're able to do. Before I came to Houston, I was working at a daily newspaper in Missouri, and I won't give away the name, town of 16,000. And I told the newspaper that I'd been extended an offer to go to Houston, and I'd accepted it. I was going there, and he wanted to know about the newspaper. And I told him it was a weekly newspaper, town of 2,000, and he told me, "You're making career suicide." He told me what a horrible decision it was because I was taking a step down the ladder of my profession. And I chuckle now as I look back because this town of 16,000 does not have a website, has a very limited presence on social media. The things that we're doing in a town of 2,000 is putting this bigger city and daily chain, or not chain, but daily newspaper to shame. So I want to communicate and encourage you today that you can do it. We have a staff of 3 that are full-time that are there every day. We have 4 others that are there 4 times during the week. So we're small, and I get the challenges, but you can do it, and you're going to hear that over and over today is you can do it. Hopefully I'll encourage you to do that, and I also want to share a way that you can do it promptly and with ease. Why social media? So if you haven't taken the leap, into social media, why should you be on there? Why does it matter? You know, I kind of assume just because I deal with so many young people that a lot of people already are on social media, but I'm finding out, as Walt said, there was a newspaper that still had the old rotary phone, so not everybody's on social media. So I want to give a little plug as to why you should be on social media. Number one, it's free. It's free. Now, I understand it costs you time to post things, and you know, you have employees they're going to be spending a little time on there, but the vehicle to use is free. I could come in here and I could tell you about our text alert system that we send out text alerts and link back to our website. It's great. We love it. Make a little money off of it, but it's an investment. It costs it to use it. I could tell you about our live video that we do. We go out and we live stream school board meetings and sporting events, football games and stuff. We have advertisers, and we make a little money, but it costs money to get started in it. This is a free startup. This is a free way to do a good thing, to connect with your community, and to represent your newspaper. Secondly, your community's already there. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, no matter what the social media account, it literally puts you into the space of your community because they're already there. You're going to be able to invade a space where someone is just hanging out. Maybe they're looking at pictures of somebody else's kids or connecting with family. They're just there hanging out. Whoa, there's something from the newspaper. That's interesting. It allows you to go where your community already is. I know there are a lot of people that we connect with that may never visit our newspaper website. I'm kind of ashamed of my wife. She told me last night that she doesn't go to our website very often. But she said when I get something in my feed, or when I get a text alert, I'll click it and I'll go to the website. A lot of people are like that. The way that they ingest news is different than the way that a lot of us do, and a lot of our parents and grandparents did it. It's just a different way of consuming the news. So you can literally step into the space that they're already at. I've got some stats, and I'll go over them briefly if you don't already understand the impact of Facebook. A new profile is created every 8 seconds. So in 15 minutes, about the time I'm going to cover here, there's going to be 7,246 new profiles made. 66% of all millennials, so that's 15 to 34, use Facebook. And 50% of people ages 18 to 24 say they first get on Facebook when they first get up. A lot of them are still laying in bed and they're opening up their Facebook. So it's an opportunity to step into the space they're already at. Instagram and Twitter. We're fairly new to Instagram. We've had it about a year. Twitter, we've had it about 3 years. Facebook is still most popular in our region, but we're starting to see an increase in the numbers in these other social media vehicles. Our Facebook presence, I said we're a town of 2,000. We have 5,500 people connected to our Facebook. Our Twitter is just over 1,000. So you can see there's quite a difference. Our Instagram, was going about a year, has about 400 to 500 people on it. So those numbers are changing, but I was talking to Walt beforehand, and this has me extremely interested, and I only have 3 social media icons on here. Probably next year, if I did this same talk, I would have a 4th one, Snapchat. I saw an article this past week that says among young people, among 20 and under, Snapchat is now the #1 social media account that they use. It has overtaken Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook in that order. Snapchat's #1. And so I'm very interested in Snapchat. I opened up a personal account just to start playing with it. I've looked at what some other news organizations are doing. It has this really cool feature called Your Story, and people can go to it and see a little image, and they scroll it, and they get the full article. I think it's going to change the way that young people consume the news that we present. And so I'm very interested in Snapchat. I think it's probably something that RJI will be talking about down the road because, as I said, it has now overtaken all those other social media accounts. So that's something I'm going to be looking into, and if you're already on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, maybe it'd be time that you could look into Snapchat as well. Okay, so they're already there. It's free. It's already there. Next, we can bring them back to our website, and this is what's important. Now, someone smarter than me is going to have to figure out how we're going to make a lot of money on Facebook. I think that we're all waiting for, and that's maybe a reason that some people are hesitant to be on there, is that, well, I can't make money there. I'm not getting anything from the people connected. Yes, but you can bring them back to your website there where you're starting to make money. And here's how that works for us. Almost everything we post has a link back to our website. You asked a question about paywalls. We're a metered website. I think this might be a good solution for you. I know it's a solution we like. So just briefly, the way it works is you get 12 free clicks every 30 days. So just those passersby that are just checking it out occasionally, nothing changes for them. The people that are invested, they maybe probably value your community and your news more. They pay. And so it's kind of both ways. You can still get it free, and then if you like it, you can still pay. So we want people to come back to our website because we can generate a little revenue there. Also, the advertisers are there, so you're getting the clicks. And so our ultimate goal is to invade the space that our community is already in, and then to bring them back to our website, bring them back to the place where we create revenue. So if you're already on social media accounts, I apologize, I didn't change that screen. If you're already on social media accounts, the next biggest question is, how can I do it effectively? How can I do it efficiently? We're a small staff. We're busy. I've got a lot to do. How can I do it the absolute best? Number one, I want to tell you is post often. There's nothing more frustrating than seeing a website or an account or something online that hasn't been updated since 2014. okay? If you're not continually updating and posting, you give people no reason to connect with you. You're not going to grow your numbers. You're not going to interact with your community. You're not going to bring them back to your website. So post things often. I'll give you an example. Last night after our soccer game, we just hired a new high school principal. I got an email that had happened. I didn't have time to write a full story because I needed to get on the road. Called the superintendent and just got a couple small little tidbits. 5-sentence story. Posted it on our website. Tweeted it, Facebooked it, sent out a text alert, and then I'm trying to get in this mindset of the younger people too. And then I took the picture of our new principal and I put it on Instagram. And I thought, the students are going to think that's pretty cool. I'm going to see a picture of my principal next year. So that was kind of the mindset of getting it out there. Now that's not going to take away from what we do in our print product next week. And our print product, as Walt said, that's still the backbone. That's still most important. That's still where probably 85% of our revenue still comes from that print product. So it's most important. But the online is not stealing away from what we're going to do in print. Okay, it's a supplement. It's a complement. They work together. So post often, have fresh content. You can have a different version of a story. You can, as I did with the principal, you can give a little sneak preview of what's coming up next. Okay? But regurgitating what we're doing in print and just posting it online after it's been in print, what reason am I giving anyone to pay for my content? What reason am I giving anyone to come to my website? If I can read it in print already or see it somewhere else, why would I need to come there? So fresh content a little differently. Next, tag people, tag businesses. If you got a good hashtag or one that's being used, use it. When I post pictures from school events or from sporting programs, I tag people. I tag their mom, I tag their grandma, I tag the student, I tag everybody because it brings them there. They get a tag, they share it. Again, it's just increasing the scope of your business and the people you're able to reach. Interacting. I have a really good example of this. During the recent elections, there was a high school in the region that had a vote. They were trying to pass a bond issue. And so we posted on our Facebook page to just a short little snippet that said that this bond issue had passed and listed the votes. It was pretty close. And I tagged that school district. Well, unbeknownst to us, we got a message back from the school district that said, well, that was a 4/7 vote, not a majority, and so actually it didn't pass. So just by interacting with them on there and posting it on Facebook, we were then able to, and we had a deadline an hour away, we were then able to fix it and get it right in print. That was kind of cool. So people have questions and they send things in. It's a way to interact with your community. Investing in community is very important. I know you all believe that. Social media gives you a way to do that. Always link back to the website. I hope I've stated the case for why that's so important. We always link things back. Even if you have a photo gallery, you could post one picture and say, hey, more pictures, and here's your link. Bring them back, get the traffic, hopefully show them why an investment in paying for your website and your product is worth it. And next, promote. This is something I'm kind of surprised that newspapers sometimes aren't good at, is self-promotion. You have a good product. You and your employees work hard. You should be proud of what you're doing. Promote yourselves. In print, tell people to go to your website or go on social media for more pictures. Tell people they can sign up and get a breaking news alert. On your social media, send people to your print product. Post a preview of a story and say more in print next week, or here's our website. Here's a place where you can go read more. Promotion. You're doing good work. Your product has value. I think if we can show them our value, people maybe will be more willing to pay for it on maybe a metered or even a very strict paywall. We've got to do a good job of letting our community know that what we do is valuable work and they will value it as well. I want to talk about a way to do this efficiently. All of us are strapped for time. We all have lots of duties. We all have expectations. As I told you, my staff at the Houston Herald is a very small staff. So I do a lot of things. When I worked at a daily, I worked on the sports staff. I had a beat of a junior college team. That was what I was in charge of. Didn't have a whole lot of other responsibilities in that. Well, at the newspaper, page designer. I'm the guy that goes to the school board meeting. I'm the guy that covers all sports. Okay, I'm the guy that does a lot of posting on social media. Okay, there's a lot of responsibilities. That's a juggling act a lot of times for community newspapers. I understand that. Well, here's a solution that we have found at the Houston Herald that has helped us be able to reach all these social media platforms in an efficient and effective way. It's called Hootsuite. Now, Hootsuite is an account that allows you to connect social media accounts of yours. Now, for free, and I like free, I think we all like free. For free, you can connect 3 social media accounts. So we've got our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram connected on Hootsuite. So you can post something that you want to send out. You can add a photo. You can add a location. You can tag businesses. All the things that you could do on those individual social media accounts, you can do this on Hootsuite. You hit post, and magically it sends it to all these places. It's great. So I can efficiently get my word out, my news out to different social media platforms. We found it very effective. Also, another thing I like is statistics, the analytics that Hootsuite offers. It gives you feedback on what has been most effective, when your news is being best consumed, when you're having the most interactions with your post, okay? So when your reach is the absolute best. Again, we want to be efficient, but we also want to be effective. And this, through statistics and analytics, it allows you to be effective. Free account, 3 social media profiles, analytics, and the basic message scheduling. Now, this is cool. This is really cool, and this is where this analytics comes into, and where effectiveness comes into. You can schedule your post on Hootsuite to send a tweet out, to send out a Facebook post at a specific time. Now, breaking news, this does not apply. Breaking news, our approach is to get it out as fast as we can. When the ball game's over, I'm sending out a tweet, I'm posting it on Facebook, and I'm sending out a text alert. Just bam, as soon as out number 3 is done, we're sending it. We want to get it out there. But if you have a feature story, okay, something that's maybe not as time sensitive, I would encourage you to look at scheduling your posts so it can reach the absolute most amount of people. Effective, the most effective. Well, Hootsuite has this really cool feature. It doesn't even make you think about it. It has a little button that says auto schedule. And Hootsuite is smart enough to know it can look back at your previous post and it can see, okay, when is it getting the most interaction? When is it getting the most retweets and likes? When is it getting the most interaction and comments on Facebook? You hit auto schedule and it will automatically send it out whenever that most effective time is. I didn't even have to think about it. I hit auto schedule and I'm done. Again, breaking news doesn't work, but for something more feature-like that you'd say, hey, I'd like that to reach as many people as possible, you hit it and it does all the work for you. So the analytic reports, though, it shows us there are some specific times, and this is pretty general across most regions. I know it changes from region to region and maybe community to community, but if you're already on social media, I want you to consider these numbers for times that things are most effective. Statistically, it says that between 1 and 3 p.m. is when people generally get the most engagement on Facebook. And especially on Thursdays and Fridays, 18% higher on Thursdays and Fridays. And I thought this was kind of funny. This organization called Quick Sprout said, the less people want to be at work, the more they are on Facebook. So you get it, by Thursday and Friday afternoon, you're like, I'm ready to get out of here. And so people are maybe not working as much and spending more time online. And so 1 to 3, especially Thursdays and Fridays, and also on weekends, noon until 1, Saturday and Sunday. Noon until 1, Saturday and Sunday is shown that people are on Facebook. They're interacting with the most news. And on Twitter, they say for the maximum repost is 5 p.m., noon, and 6 p.m. So between 5 and 6 and noon. Again, these are pretty generic, but with Hootsuite, you can do that auto schedule and you don't even have to think about it. Or you can look back at your analytics and you can decide when people in your community are interacting the most with your post. Well, I appreciate the time. This is my information. If you want to see what we're doing on social media, it's all at Houston Herald. This is my email address if you have any questions. I know that RJI will post our presentations, but please, if you have questions or want to connect, please do it. we've done a lot of the things that we've done because people have helped us out. People have showed us, and people like Walt have gone around and did good work and shared what is successful for other organizations. And so we don't have all the answers. I feel like we do have maybe some answers that'll help people. And so we'd love to interact with you guys and just figure this thing out together. And if you know how to make money on Facebook, definitely email me. All right. Does anyone have any questions?
Well, we're going to try and keep it on track.
Okay.
Oh, you got one? All right.
So the Hootsuite thing is free. Mm-hmm. I'm just always intrigued. Where did they get a cut? Where do they make a little money, or what's their profit model?
You can buy to connect more social media accounts. You can connect up to 35. So you just get premium. It's a premium account. You upgrade. We found for what we are used to and what we like for it to do, the free one's just fine.
Cost you nothing.
Cost me nothing. Okay. Cost me nothing. I think they should pay me something for giving them a little plug here, though. I mean.
I'm curious if you could just talk a little bit more about how you know what to prioritize on social media. I think being a youth pastor, it probably helps you give some insights, but when there's so much out there, how do you know what to target first and why?
Okay. If it's breaking, it goes immediately. If it's breaking news, last Friday we had a shooting in town, it goes immediately. Ball game score goes immediately. Beyond that, we try to keep a look at our analytics and see what's most popular on our website. Crime, police reports, those things are all very popular. So those things get sent out pretty immediately. Being a smaller newspaper, we don't produce a ton of feature stories, but I'd say, the things that you would highlight on A1 are the things that are going to be on your social media accounts. Those are the things that we're going to give priority to. We're big into photo galleries. You know that you go to an event and your photographer may take a couple hundred pictures. You're only going to use a handful in the newspaper. So we found that social media is a good place that we can post all of those images. We can give them a link to purchase the photo. We can just get more out there. And again, tagging has been a big thing for us. It's helped us build up our audience. It's helped us with our numbers because when we tag people, those people that got tagged tend to interact and share it along the way too.